Now, last season we saw both sides of Twist Magic, so how's he been behaving in his work this autumn?
He wasn't so good when he first came in, decided he wasn't going to do anything, and Dan Skelton took over riding him out and sort of educated him a little bit, and he's been going quite nicely actually. Dan sort of rides him out in a hunting saddle with a pair of spurs, like in a different type of way, and he sort of respected that Dan's not going to let him get away with anything. He's got on with his work and he's going well, and so hopeful of a good run in the Holden Gold Cup like he did last year, and go on to Sandown. He definitely likes going right-handed. What I don't need to see him is messing about at the start again, or even stopping at the start, because then we'll be in trouble.
Now, Tatano was the joint leading novice chaser last season, but obviously he's got improvement to make to join that elite group of 2 mile chasers.
Of course he's got to improve, but one thing, he's good in the spring and the autumn. He loves decent ground, so I'm not going to be running him in the middle of winter this year when the ground's really soft. The idea is to go to Cheltenham with him for the race at what was the Connaught Chase last year at the Paddy Power meeting, and then go for the Tingle Creek, as long as it's not too soft.
Now, it's great to see Neptune Collonges back on the gallops, and he may get a Hennessy Gold Cup entry.
Yeah, he's definitely be his first entry. That'll be the first time he'd be ready. Hopefully, if he was ready, the weights, you could say he'd have a chance on his Gold Cup form. He's getting weight off of Denman. Handicap has dropped him a little bit, so it would look like it would be an ideal race to run him in. It's going to be tight to have him ready. We've got a month to go, so fingers crossed we can. I wouldn't run him unless he was ready to do himself justice. Those horses that have been off, I always think, a year or 18 months, got to be ready to win when they run. There's no point needing the running them getting injured again. And Tanais was a great example last year, having been off for 2 years and won at Cheltenham. We had him ready to win, and if Neptune goes to the Hennessy, he'd have to be ready to run and not get tired.
I mean, on a point of handicapping, I think he's twice finished, hasn't he? Behind, about 7 lengths behind Denman in the Gold Cup, and here he would be getting £18 as he's been dropped 5 or 6. So, he would be well treated, wouldn't he?
It's a huge incentive to run, and I'm sure 3 1/4 around Newbury would suit him very well. Very well. It just, as he got older, he didn't like the ground too soft. His better form was on better ground, but yeah, it would, it looks ideal race to run him in.
Would Tanais be another possible Hennessy entry?
Yeah, he'd definitely have an entry. He ran very well when he won last year, and to think he might only have 10 stone 3 in Hennessy, we were thinking running him in the Gold Cup last year, would just give him, obviously a chance. So, yeah, I mean, he's definitely got an entry, and we'll see how things unfold. He's hard to get right. He's working hard at the moment. Again, I wouldn't run him unless he was really, really ready to do himself justice.
And I mean, Tanais hasn't been the luckiest of horses, has he? Even since the Argento comeback in January.
No, I'd say he's unlucky. It depends. He's won a Ryanair and he's won a Down Roll race, and he won the race at Cheltenham last year, so he's got a good win record. Just injuries have played him a little bit, but he's fine at the moment.
Now, the intention at the moment then is to take up What a Friend to Haydock, to take on Imperial Commander and co. Considering he could have also, or may well still go for the Hennessy, but at the moment you've got Haydock in mind. Was that a sort of a difficult decision to make?
Well, not really. He's won 2 Grade 1s the last time he started. He's hopefully going to run in a Gold Cup this year, so this is his year, and if he's going to be able to compete with Imperial Commander and some of those at Cheltenham, he needs to be able to compete with them at levels in a race like the Betfair. Obviously he looks quite attractive. If Denman runs that, he'd run in a lightweight in the Hennessy, but we did that last year, and I think it's daft them taking each other on, really. And if Denman ran in the Betfair and What a Friend ran in the Hennessy, What a Friend would then end up nearly top weight in the Hennessy, and you're going to get horses lurking in the bottom that probably beat him, that wouldn't even run in a Gold Cup. So we think Haydock, first time, fresh and well, he'll go very well. So that's the preferred option at the moment.
Now, over the summer, What a Friend has had a breathing operation. Do you feel that this has been troubling him for some time?
I think it has. He's always been on and off the bridle in his races, and Ruby got off the last time and rode him at Aintree when he won. He said it sort his breathing out. He's stopping him, so that's why we did it.
Now, we haven't seen Noland for almost 2 years since he won the John Durkan. What news of him?
Yeah, he's back in now, working hard, been in since the 1st of July. He's got an entry for the Paddy Power Gold Cup. Ground will obviously determine where he runs. If it's good to soft, I'd say it's very likely he'll run. And
I see the handicap has dropped him sort of £7 or so that would hopefully come in handy.
Yeah, it's good that they give those horses who've been off a while a chance, and the Paddy Power will be a great starting point for him, and then we'll see where we go after that. Hopefully step him up to 3 miles.
Now, this time last year, Trickster was a very difficult horse to get fit, but you've had a clearer run with him this time.
Yeah, I just couldn't get him right last year. Whatever, he was coughing and spluttering and never happy, and all from the start. But he has improved enormously. during the summer, and we seem to have had a clear run with him, lots of work, and he's ready to run basically, ground permitting, and he could go to Cheltenham at the Paddy Power meeting for the 3.5 mile chase, which Jed's company Mawson International is sponsoring, or he could wait for the Beecher chase the week after, or go to the Hennessy. There's a number of options for him over a trip. Pride of Dulcote.
Now, Pride of Dulcote is a second season chaser, very promising, but of course he does lack experience with just the one run.
Yeah, he does. He as you know, he won his only start at Worcester and then got injured. But I'm very happy with him. He won't be ready to run till near Christmas, and probably find a graduation chase for him, and then look at some better races after Christmas with him. But potentially he could be a really nice horse. I mean, if you were thinking now, you had a list of horses entering a Gold Cup, you'd have him on the list to be entered anyway.
Now, Poquelin ran a blinder on his return at Aintree the other day, considering that Monet's Garden's a pretty hard horse to pass in that old roan chase. Yeah,
very happy with him. Obviously, you don't like finishing second, and we set the race out for him from the start. And of the season, he ran a really blinding race, get beat half a length. And Monet's Garden's very hard to beat round there, and and probably just about outstayed us from the last a little bit. Ran a really sound race. Where we go with him now, I don't know, because he's hard to place. I mean, the obvious race for him is the Ryanair in the spring, which will be his number two. But in the meantime, he's got to go left-hander. I suspect he'll end up running in the Paddy Power and the Ball Sport if the ground's not too bad. Little break, and then go back for the Ryanair. May even give him an entry for the Nakayaya Grand Jump in Japan. It's a sort of race that could suit him.
He'd be a pretty classy horse to take out there.
Yeah, he would be a nice horse to take out there, but it's a long way off it. Ryanair is his big target.